Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about banjo-kazooie. Banjo-kazooie overall, fuck. Banjo-kazooie Nuts and Bolts overall has a very mixed review. Critics really like it, and they find it decent at best, and the fans don't really like the game that much as the Bear and Bird's initial fucking first game. To give a brief history of Banjo-Kazooie, it's pretty much Rareware's like flagship series for the Nintendo 64. It's pretty much what they're known for, other than like Perfect Dark and Conquer and GoldenEye and DK64. Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64 is a collectathon, blah 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 blah. Banjo-Kazooie on it's a collectathon platformer. Banjo-Tooie kind of did the same thing, but kind of worse. Some people would say it doesn't really live up to the first game. By the time Nuts and Bolts rolled around, though, everyone started disliking that game a whole lot more. I will say this now, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is a very interesting game. I think it's a great game, but the way it was promoted and the way it was like finally released, it's not really a banjo game. It's kind of its own thing. The year is 2008. It was a really cool year where nothing bad happened. Fans were excited for a new Banjo game on the most recent consoles that had the best graphics at the time. They booted the game, and what the fuck is this? I actually have a pretty funny story related to Nuts and Bolts. So, one year on Christmas 2014 or so, my sister got me a copy of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts because I was in my banjo phase, and I had just beaten the Xbox Live arcade port of the first game. And I was really obsessed with that JonTron video. You know, the one where he's like, "Stop taunting me!" You know, that one? Yeah. I had received the game completely wrapped in layers upon layers of fucking duct tape. While trying to unravel the duct tape, I assumed that it was like a DVD or like a movie. But to my surprise, it was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. And I was like, shit, JonTron hates this game. That means I gotta hate this game. I was completely immersed into the game. I didn't really care that it had cars or that it was different, but it was just Banjo-Kazooie, and that's all that kind of mattered to me.
Present day. Present time.
Okay, in Nuts and Bolts, it has been 8 years since fucking the events of Banjo-Tooie, and the duo have been slackers a lot because there's no Gruntilda because she fucking died. Surprise, surprise, Gruntilda comes back and is a disembodied head with no body to be with. The two of them were about to get into a fight because they're like, oh my god, we're destined to fight each other. And then like, but that's what I would say if the Lord of Games or Log didn't fucking show up and he was like, yo, collect my 8 pages. So yeah, he pauses your fucking game with like flashing Comic Sans and shit. And he's like the most pretentious and annoying character in this entire game. He constantly belittles like Banjo and the player and takes his title of Lord a bit too seriously. I'm pretty sure that's a self-proclaimed title. Log eventually performs like liposuction on Banjo and gives Gruntilda a new body. Not like a hot one, but just like a robot one. Then transports all 3 of them to like through this portal thing and is like, oh my god, here's some cars, drive. And they go through the portal and they just go with it. And it's like, I guess he's holding Spiral Mountain for fucking ransom or something. I don't know. So then you run into like Mumbo and the other characters from the Banjo cinematic universe who like went through the same experience as our 3 characters. And Mumbo now owns Mumbo's Motors, the shop where you can modify your cars in game to like your preference and your liking. Like the original Banjo-Kazooie, levels are locked behind a jiggy paywall, so you must get a certain amount of these shiny MacGuffins to continue on to the next world, the first of which being Nutty Acres. Nutty Acres is what would happen if you take every single like green grass world from like every single video game ever and just completely make it like artificial and plastic. Everything about the land itself, including like its inhabitants, are super non-organic from the looks of it. Like, it's almost lifelike, which is kind of uncanny, given that the original landscape in Banjo, like, it's all organic. Well, as organic as a giant cabbage with like floating eyes can be, but whatever. Okay, so you drop into Nutty Acres, and the land is completely like barren, and it's treated like a normal banjo game in terms of like level design, which kind of sucks. You go to like walk around, try to find things to collect, and like, what gives? There's nothing here. Like, it's just empty. You then realize you have to walk up to like NPCs and talk to them to start missions, which is a new thing, by the way. You have to like start missions to get jiggies and stuff for future levels. I will say that the graphics are really stylized and it really works well. They have this like blocky, like retro kind of look, which either is trying to imitate the way it looked on the N64, or like it's trying to make it so it's like how you build the cars in like a grid kind of thing. I like it. I like it over the regular Banjo Kazooie art style. That's kind of a hot take. Maybe I don't want to put that in the video. I'm just glad it didn't look like the fucking Mario in real life. The picture, yeah, you know the one.